The US stock market closed higher on Wednesday, even despite the Fed's intention to adopt more hawkish stance on monetary policy. What did traders find out from the Fed's minutes of the meeting held in June? The rate-setting committee was surprised about a surge in inflation in April and May. However, judging by the policy decisions, this acceleration was defined as a one-time and temporary spike. All in all, the regulator did not come up with any proposals to fine-tune monetary policy immediately. The question of the day is how market participants will respond to data on unemployment claims. We see that the actual number of first-time claims for unemployment benefits stayed flat as on the previous week. The thing is that analysts have anticipated a notable decrease. Market participants are likely to give a mixed response. Everyone found confirmation of one's own expectations in the weekly update on the labor market and the Fed's minutes. Someone thinks that the central bank is not ready yet for clearly hawkish policy. Someone reckons the Fed dropped a hint about the first rate hike by the year end. The dynamic in the US stock market confirms the case. Yesterday, both the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 rose 0.3%. The Nasdaq closed flat despite obvious fluctuations. Commonly, the high-tech stocks are more vulnerable to signal about the prospects of monetary tightening. The S&P 500 traded at about 4,358. It's expected to trade today in the corridor of 4,310 to 4,380 points. The US dollar is firmly trading at the highest level since early April. The US currency is propped up by high consumer inflation in the United States and expectations of monetary tightening. The US dollar index climbed to 92.70 yesterday. Today, the price could shift between 92.20 and 93.20. To develop a new bullish wave, the greenback needs fresh evidence of rising inflation or the Fed's actual reversion of rhetoric. The Canadian dollar is extending weakness against the US dollar amid the second bearish wave of oil prices. Yesterday, the USD CAD pair grew to 1.2540. Apparently, the loonie is relaxed after two repeated ones recently. Analysts predict the currency pair will be able to reach the upper border of the corridor between 1.2470 and 1.2600. Large Bitcoin investors are estimating how much they have lost amid the recent slump in the crypto market. Today, the number one cryptocurrency sank over $2,000. Now it's trading at near $32,500. Bitcoin began its losing streak after it had grown to $35,000, but failed to hold at this level. So, the ongoing decline is of poor technical nature. How will it move in the near time? Perhaps the price will go down a bit lower, but then it will rebound off at the level of 32,000. In case Bitcoin slides deeper, the price is likely to plunge as low as $28,000 per token. To sum up, the US stock market looks healthy with the prospects for a further rally. Nevertheless, large investors need a good correction, at least 5%. As usual on Thursday, investors monitor weekly updates from the US Labor Department. The number of initial jobless claims stayed flat last week at 373,000. Importantly, the number of continuing unemployment claims eventually went downwards. It decreased by almost 140,000 last week, so nowadays 3.34 million Americans live on the dole. The US stock market seems to be poised for a dip. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.